Race 2 of the Global Series coming up then. Can Williams Adrian make it a perfect opening night of the 2020 Championship? He's already got 2 pole positions in his back pocket and a race win as well. Can he make it 2 from 2? 9 laps of Jerez coming up. Adrian, Trastevere and Andrew ZH on the front row, and we are underway with another good start from Williams Adrian aboard the KTM. He's surely going to get the whole shot once again down towards turn 1. Yes, he does. Trastevere runs a little bit wide. We've got a couple of falls in the background. It looks like one of them was Williams Christian and Moe as well. Williams Christian finished 4th in the opening race, but he's dead last after the opening sector of this second race. A disastrous start for Williams Adrian's brother.
Yeah, absolute nightmare for Williams Christian, Jack. Going down in turn 1, that's pretty much his race over. There's no way he's going to catch these guys with the level that all these guys are on. One man that made an absolute brilliant start and much better than the one he made in race 1 was Sanshoqueen, the rookie, the man who's new to the MotoGP eSport Global Series this year. He's up into P4 already and he's looking down the inside of Andrew ZH, that is, as Andrew ZH goes a little bit wide and they tag each other. Who else has gone wide? Was that Fuchs on the Repsol Honda running wide as well? Was someone else?
Well, Andrew ZH has just been T-boned by Sanshoqueen. That would not have gone down well if the Petronas Yamaha man had taken out our reigning world champion. He's been demoted to 4th place and he's now got Juan NH on the Tech 2 KTM all over his rear wheel. A disastrous opening lap for Andrew ZH as he looked to bite back on Trastevere in this world championship. Meanwhile, we're talking about the championship coming down between Trastevere and Andrew ZH as it has done in years gone by. But Williams Adrian at the moment is on course for 50 points from the opening 50 of 2020. He is a superb championship contender as things stand. And here goes Juan NH up the inside of Andrew ZH. Is he the Ducati man? Is he going to be demoted to 5th? No, he's just about held on despite going wide at the final corner at Lorenzo corner. Meanwhile, here comes Juan NH. He's back through. He's done it into turn 1 at the start of lap number 2. Andrew ZH is going to fight back though. Can he squeeze through here? There's barely a gap there. Juan NH is going to have the inside line as they flick back left, and the KTM is just about going to hold on. Meanwhile, it's allowing Ellie Ghost 555 to close in on the Aprilia, the man who finished runner-up in 2018. He is no mug, and now he's over the rear wheel of Andrew ZH. Our 2019 champion is in all sorts of problems on this second lap.
Yeah, problems are plenty for Andrew ZH, Jack. I don't want to make any random conclusions, but I do think that it might be possible that Andrew ZH has just gone the wrong way on setup as we see him run slightly wide again, and now Ellie Ghost 555 pushes through. Now remember, Ellie Ghost is pretty quick. 2018, he finished 2nd overall. He had a slightly bad year last year, but 2018, it really showed that he can be the one to take it to the front guys as well. So Andrew ZH, it's not like he's got easy competition in front of him to pick off. These guys are all fast.
Ellie goes 555. He's looking to bounce back this year. As we said, he was the runner-up in 2018 behind Trastevere at the time riding for Mark VDS. He was with Repsol Honda last year, was super quick in the online challenges, got the promotion up to the Repsol Honda team, and everyone was expecting him to be challenging at the front, but it just never materialised. He's now with Aprilia. He's made a slight step backwards, you would have to say, in terms of the teams that he's with. He wasn't as quick in the online challenges as well. He just about scraped through, but now he's looking to re-find his form in the 2020 Global Series into the top 5 already. It's a better performance coming. Back at the front though, and it's still Williams Adrian aboard the KTM, who, if anything, Jack, is pulling away from Trastevere. He's over a second clear now. What a performance it's been so far in the opening night from Adrian.
Definitely, he's looked absolutely invincible the whole night. 2 pole positions and already the race win in Mugello. He's the man that really is setting the bar in the 2020 Global Series. And, you know, he's already got that 1 second gap. No one's challenging at the front. We have to look back to Trastevere and Sanshoqueen battling it out for the final podium places.
Juan NH is still there in 4th, just behind Sanshoqueen, who, of course, in his debut season in the MotoGP eSport World Championship, is looking for a debut podium. Juan NH is not. He managed to pick up a surprise one at the Red Bull Ring last year when he was riding for the KTM squad, the factory squad that Williams Adrian now is piloting. So he's used to tasting podium success in the Global Series, and he's having another good performance here as the Spaniard. Currently all over the rear wheel of Petronas Yamaha's Sanshoqueen, who is, of course, our second Indonesian rider after Moe, who at the moment, having had that opening lap crash and tangle with Williams Christian, is down in 10th place at the moment. But it does look like the pair of them are just recovering and starting to pick the way back through the field, or certainly that's what they're going to be hoping to do, because they are closing in onto the rear wheel of Davide Galigna aboard the Pramac Ducati in 9th place. Meanwhile, our world champion Andrew ZH is still struggling down in 6th place. Remember last time we were at Jerez, Jack, it was absolute ecstasy for the Italian, because this is the circuit where he wrapped up his first ever eSport championship, following Williams Christian home to take 2nd place, and as a result the championship. Now he's back down in 6th place. The only result he had similar to that last year was at the Red Bull Ring, which came as a result of a bad setup choice. He went for the soft tyre and it simply ran out of grip as we got into the closing stages of that race, which is why he dropped backwards. Obviously he's dropping backwards at the start of this race, so it doesn't look like it's going to be a problem with his tyre choice. Who knows what it is, but unfortunately we are not seeing the Andrew ZH that we're used to.
Yeah, it's a shame, Jack, and it makes you wonder, as you say, whether he has made a wrong setup choice, whether it be tyre or something to do with suspension. But it's not like he can relax at all. He can't afford to make another single mistake. We saw him run wide 3 times in about a lap and a half at the start of this race, and it really wasn't ideal. He lost all them positions after making a somewhat decent start, but now he's got Fuchs behind him, who, as we said in the first race, he was the fastest qualifier for the rest of the world. So, you know, the competition is really not letting up as he slips further and further down the order.
No, it's as competitive as it ever has been in 2020. These 11 guys out there. As you can see, there's hardly any gaps between anybody. The biggest one at the moment is 2 seconds in between Fuchs, the man who was the fastest in the rest of the world, and Mr. TFTW from Australia. These guys are so closely matched, and that's meaning we're getting some fantastic racing out there. Maybe not at the front at the moment, because Williams Adrian is now 1.3 seconds, 1.4 seconds maybe clear of Trastevere in 2nd place. It's an incredible performance coming from the KTM man. Remember, before we even started tonight, he'd never picked up a pole position, he'd never picked up a race win, he'd never even been on the podium, but now he's looking at 2 pole positions and 2 race wins as well. He would not have expected this in his wildest dreams.
No, he certainly would have, and he has been absolutely brilliant. We really cannot say it enough how just brilliant he's been tonight. He's been absolutely dominant. Looked like he's got pace and plenty. But as we look back again, to Ellie Ghost with Andrew ZH behind, and we do see Fuchs just haunting and hunting Andrew ZH as they come through into the final section now. We look back again, and that is Mr. TFTW having a slightly better ride. He unfortunately finished in 11th place in the last one, but much better this time. It was in fact actually his home Grand Prix last year where he had his best result, so it's looking like he's getting on better with the European tracks this year.
Yeah, certainly looks that way, and he's a lovely, lovely man, is Mr. TFTW as well. Obviously made his debut in the Global Series last year and got on with everybody. A real character as well, so it's great to have him back in 2020, and hopefully we can get to the Global Series arena and see all of these guys in person, of course from a 2-metre distance, as the season progresses. Back at the front though, 5 laps completed now, and Williams Adrian extends his gap even further with another fastest lap of the race. A 1:33.095 is now 1.7 seconds clear of Trastevere aboard the Monster Energy Yamaha, and if anything, it looks as though Trastevere isn't going to close in on Williams Adrian. It looks as though the debutant on the Petronas Yamaha, Sanshoqueen, is closing in on his factory counterpart ahead of him.
Certainly, and as we see that the fastest lap did pop up again for Williams Adrian. You know, the other guys, they're not miles off, they're only a 10th or 2 off, and I tell you what, if you want to go and see how fast these guys are, pick yourself up a copy of MotoGP 20 and see if you can run a 33 flat around Jerez. I guarantee you'll be many seconds off, because these guys are absolutely rapid, as we do just see Williams Christian making up for his turn 1 mistake as he now pops himself up into 9th place as Mr. TFTW goes down. He was just singing his praises as he was performing a little bit better in this race than the first.
Yeah, crashes out of 8th place as Mr. TFTW. I got a little bit excited, a little bit nervous there, because at Pedrosa Corner I just thought the bike was going to roll into the path of Williams Christian, and having had the misfortune of tangling with Moe on the opening lap at the opening corner, it would just be his luck in this race that he gets collected by a stray Avintia Ducati. Thankfully he managed to avoid it, and he's now back up to 8th place, the man of course that won here this time last year.
Yeah, it would have been absolute commiserations for him if that had happened, as we now just do look back to the man who's dominated this race. We're on to the 7th lap, and look at that. Another fastest lap. That must be 7 laps and 7 fastest laps. He's been absolutely fantastic in this race. We just see in the background, I'm not quite sure that Sanshoqueen is got that 1/10 or 2 he needs to close in on Trastevere. Trastevere, if he's managing to able to hang on to that 2nd place, it'd be a much better start for him to life in the 2020 Global Series than 2019. And having missed out by only 2 points last year, he must know that this is so important in the long run.
Yeah, he had a really poor start to the 2020 Global Series. Well, when we say poor start from his perspective as a man that won the 2017 and the 2018 championship, he didn't start life in 2019 as we would have expected, and in the end it was that opening round, that opening Global Series event in Misano that cost him the eventual championship. Meanwhile, is this opening Global Series event going to cost Andrew ZH the championship? Our reigning world champion started life with a 3rd place at his home round in Mugello, and now he's back in 6th place and doesn't look like he's going to be making any improvements through the field with only a handful of laps remaining. He's stranded in 6th place. At the moment, he's got Ellie Goes 555 with Aprilia ahead of him. He's got Fuchs behind him as well, and he's not able to make any inroads whatsoever on the guys ahead. It's a real troubling time for Andrew ZH in race 2 of the Global Series.
Yeah, and you just wonder if it's that kind of round 1 pressure, the round 1 curse of coming in as the reigning champion from the year before, that's just causing these 2 riders, as we saw in last year with Trastevere and now this year with Andrew ZH, just to buckle a little bit under the pressure. We have to say that Andrew ZH, he looked fantastic in the first race, but this one, we're not quite sure really what's going on with him, but hopefully for round 2 he can recover and learn from the mistakes.
Is the tag of being world champion just weighing too heavy on the shoulders of the young Italian? Of course, now signed to the Ducati team. He is a factory rider. Meanwhile, we've got to change for 4th place. There goes the Aprilia of Ellie Ghost 555. Up the inside of Juan NH for 4th. The KTM, the Tectoy KTM will bite back though. That is absolutely guaranteed as they make their way down towards turn number 6. A superb passing opportunity. One of the overtaking hotspots that Jack pointed out earlier. And that's exactly how you do it. He gave him a little bit of an elbow, a little bit of a shoulder, just to nudge him out of the way, and he's back up through into 4th place. Is Spain's Juan NH with only 1.5 laps remaining. Is that little bit of argy-bargy between the KTM and the Aprilia just offering a chance to Andrew ZH to try and recoup some valuable points on this final lap of the race, which of course will be starting imminently because Williams Adrian is away with it at the front. These guys going through the final sector. Meanwhile, he will be out of the final corner, or should I say going into the final corner. Now he is out of the final corner, 2 seconds clear of Trastevere. Barring a mistake on this final lap of the Circuito de Jerez Angel Nieto, it will be a perfect start to 2020 for Williams Adrian. 50 points are there for the taking for the KTM man.
Yeah, certainly. The bosses at KTM in real life, they're going to be having big smiles on their faces seeing this. A Red Bull KTM factory racing machine out front, and out front by some margins. We cut back to the 2018 and 17 champion, Trastevere. He's still holding off that pressure from Sanshoqueen. And Sancho, he did tell us that if he got a better start, he could run up the front. And I tell you what, he's absolutely proved it. He's backed it up, and he's looking absolutely brilliant, I've got to say. Looks like he could really challenge all the way for the top 3 places in this 2020 Global Series Championship.
Well, Petronas Yamaha SRT certainly have a knack for picking out some rather fast rookies, and it looks like they've done it again. Fabio Quartararo, the absolute sensation of MotoGP last year in his debut year, and it looks as though Sanshoqueen, again with the Petronas Yamaha squad, is going to be our rookie sensation of 2020. Can he get the better of the 2-time champion Trastevere in this final half a lap? It looks as though the number 73 is just going to hold him off. We've only got a handful of corners remaining, only 1 overtaking opportunity, and he's not close enough. He's half a second adrift. It's going to have to be one hell of a lunge into Lorenzo corner if he is to steal 2nd place away. Meanwhile, it's all about this man on the opening night of the Global Series. Williams Adrian takes victory in Mugello and now takes victory in Jerez as well. 50 out of 50 for the KTM man. What a start to the 2020 Global Series. Trastevere picks up 40 points. And what's happening here? Oh, the world champion, he's run out of fuel. Surely he's run out of fuel there. It looks as though he was going about 10 mile an hour across the line. Did he come across the line in 6th or 7th? Let's have a look at the final results here. He drops a place to 7th. Well, it was a disastrous start as it was for Andrew ZH, but he runs out of fuel coming out of the final corner and he limps across the line in 7th. What a disastrous start to the Global Series for him.